So I think the number one issue is human capital. It's sort of inspiring the workforce. It's been clear that the morale at Muni has declined dramatically in recent years, and so for me that's the most important issue. I say that my Muni policy is rainy days and Mondays, like the Karen Carpenter song. They can get you down, and that has to do with the fact that operators are not showing up for shifts 12.5% of the time. So 1 out of every shift, a bus or train operator is not coming in. And I don't raise that as a means of attack to these workers. I think that they feel neglected in a lot of ways, that they don't feel supported either by their agency or having the experiences of having operators have bleach thrown on them, having situations where people will stand on a Muni bus and be so intoxicated that they just start urinating, having sort of dangerous situations that operators can't handle safely, and pushing panic buttons and not getting the response time. I think all of those things kind of create a disconnect between the operators and the organization. So I want to do something akin to life coaching for a lot of our city employees that are in frontline services, and really have a conversation with them and say, where do you want to be in 5 or 10 years? What are the things that we can help you do that are building blocks to being successful in life? Because people work to be successful heads of households, to be successful as partners, just to enjoy the things that they want to in life. And if we help operators understand how to apply for first-time home buyers, how you can work with programs to get your credit straightened out, what's a below-market unit, what are some of the programs that would be great for your student, for your child to attend? Maybe you need to take an anger management class. Maybe you want to go to City College because in 15 years you want to be the CEO of Muni. And then all of a sudden, the relationship between me as the mayor and that individual as the operator, there's a covenant between us, because they recognize that I'm not just looking at them as somebody who's driving the 29 or the 15 or the 24. I'm looking at them as somebody who I want to see be successful in life. And I'll tell you, I talked about this last night at a forum in the Bayview, and I simply asked people to raise their hands if they knew someone that was a Muni operator. And as you know, there's been a lot of tension, and there's been a lot of scapegoating of operators around salary, around benefits, and around work rules. And I just want to move past that, because I think that the human capital is the most important element in Muni success. And so maybe that operator, because I intend to be a bus and rail yard mayor, is going to roll over on that rainy Monday morning, and they're going to look at the clock, and they're going to say, damn it, Bevan helped me sign my family up for Camp Mather. Bevan helped me understand the path for me to advance within this organization by taking classes at City College. Bevan helped me sign up for a below-market unit that I might be able to own or rent in 2 or 3 years. And you have a whole different relationship, and damn it, I'm going to go to work. And I think that that's what I want to do. I want to cut absenteeism in half in a positive, engaged, organic manner. The next thing is around fare evasion. We lose about $11 million a year in fare evasion, and so I've definitely watched closely what's been happening with BART and about policing on their transit line, and it's made me move a bit away from sort of the police presence and to focus more on a program called MTAP, the Muni Transit Assistance Program. These are young adults that are community connected. They've grown up in San Francisco. They've gone to the schools here. They know a lot of the young people, but through cousins and relationships, and so they generally are riding lines after school, 3 to 6, where a lot of the problems occur on bus and train lines. And right now, there are only 8 MTAP. That program has shrunk dramatically, and it's been very important. Take my district, where Everett and Mission are right next to each other, and one year we had a situation where the release time was the same. They are never supposed to do that, but the middle school and the high school started out releasing the same time. It was like piranhas feeding on goldfish. It was not a good situation, and so we had to get MTAP out there. We changed the time. But I think that that's a big element of this. It's just creating a better customer experience, empowering these young adults to be able to deal with situations, and if necessary, you can have backup, but hopefully just engaging the passengers and creating a more pleasant environment. And obviously, if I have more operators showing up, we're going to have fewer missed runs, the buses are going to be less crowded, there's going to be more on-time performance. I think this all kind of works there. And then I think the third thing would be around the Transit Effectiveness Project, TEP. And so definitely some candidates for mayor have been critical of the fact that some of the modifications have not been implemented. I think that we have to move really thoughtfully and really engage people. I was on the Board of Supervisors when there was an effort to eliminate some Geary stops in the downtown area. And those, you can't focus on that area. I mean, there are a lot of people who are very frail and fragile that live in that area that can get to that stop, but maybe feel as though they can't get to a stop further away. So whatever we do, we have to have it balanced, and I think it has to be everybody kind of giving a little bit and really talking to people about what makes sense. But I definitely want to see TEP move forward. But I've worked in the transit industry. I worked for the LA County Transportation Commission. I worked in transportation policy in Washington. I have a lot of familiarity with it, but I'm not going to give the voters a whole lot of policy speak. I'm going to really, again, focus in on the people that work for the organization, and if they believe that they can achieve greatness, if we give them the tools to be successful, if we communicate honestly with riders and focus in on just being transparent about what's working and what's not working, I think that we can restore confidence and hopefully create a good era for the Muni system. That we have to look at staffing up the organization. I think that that is important. When you have rampant overtime, it's both a sign that you're not adequately staffed, and secondly, that in order to fill the missed runs, that we're getting extra boards and we're bringing people in to do these lines. And again, if you create a good culture and a good environment, you can address it. One of the things you saw me do as supervisor was really focus in on the work orders. No one was looking at the fact that 311 was charging $1.84 for every phone call asking, where's the twin and two, when's the next J coming to my stop. It was crazy that we were spending that kind of money, and so we shifted over to the 511 system. There were some charges that were being made from the police department and other departments, and I think we have to be careful. We have to really stand up for Muni and not use it as a piggy bank to balance the budget of other departments. But my focus is going to again be having people want to come and show up to work, which is important, and then working with Ed Riskin, the Muni CEO, and Ed and I are very close. I worked with him very closely both when he was at 311 and at DPW, and it's been disturbing to me because a couple of the candidates have taken off after him and said that he hasn't had transit experience, and I think leadership is the most important thing that you can have in a transit organization, and you've got to give somebody the support and tools to be successful. What I have communicated to Ed is that I think that Nat Ford made a big mistake not being more accessible at the rail and bus yards. He had a reputation for not going there. He had a reputation of running a very CEO-focused environment within One South Van Ness, where memos went out saying don't speak to him unless he speaks to you, and that's ridiculous. It's unacceptable. People get to yell at me everywhere, and when I'm mayor, that's not going to change.